Axe blood, which then brought it back to that bully type. Because sometimes these dogs are going to be getting to a point where they're a little more mastiff. They're looking like a Cane Corso. They're looking like a Presa. You know what I mean? So, to me, when the dog is in that realm, you got to call it what it looks like. No longer does it look like what an American Bully, an XL American Bully should look like. Now you got a whole new different look that has hijacked the American Bully breed, which has confused the people. Now the people get upset when these XLs that show up in the show ring that have just too much, in the Scooby-Doo look, basically. And then they end up creating their own registry, and then they do their own XL shows, and it's because they don't want to adhere to the American Bully Kennel Club, the ABKC XL American Bully breed written standard. So now it's outside of the written standard. We got to create a new registry so that we could let some of the stuff as far as a look, you know what I mean, be allowed. I don't know what's going on with this camera. So anywho, and that's not taking shots at no registries. That's just understanding that the evolution of that style of dog and its desire, the desire for so long has been the double XL. And there's no home for that. Now you got this new thing called the Brazilian Pit Monster. And I see that now that ABKC has noticed and seen that it is paper hung in genetic bloodlines and put down on paper. Now here's the solution I feel. I feel those dogs that have been, brought in, they should all be rounded up and be the foundation, along with other dogs that are out there that are known to have been mixed, paper hung, with mastiff blood. I believe those dogs and the people should be the foundation group to what we should call the giant American Bully. Because that's exactly what they are. I feel if they want to stay in the ABKC, if they want to continue with the American Bully pedigree paperwork, if they want to continue to claim the American Bully, why not give them a real home and just call them the giant American Bully? To me, that would be the best idea ever, because not only are you bringing in the Brazilian Pit Monster that desperately needs a better name. Now it's coming into the American Bully Kennel Club. Now they had an issue with, the request, which is my request for plenty of years, with bringing on a new variety class called the Miniature American Bully. Okay? And the Miniature Bully, the Mini Bull, that direction and movement has been taken over since before 2012. The desire to create a pocket size and smaller American Bully. That was the foundation of what is known as the exotic bully direction and movement, they were called mini bulls, miniature bullies, okay? And some groups that were leaning more towards, bullseye blood. Some of these groups that were gaudy line breeders, they decided that they were going to call them micro bullies with the BULLIES. Now, we remember back in the day when they used the terminology bullies, IES, because that was basically the marker for when we knew that these were basically exotic bullies. And that was at a time frame, 2011, way before we called them exotic bullies, micro exotics, or nano exotics, or extreme exotic in 2014. So this is what I say: if you're going to give that Brazilian Pit Monster a home, but then also give it as a new breed and then call it the Brazilian Bull, I feel I think that there's a better solution. The better solution is exactly what I just broke down, which is calling it the giant American bully. Call it the giant American bully, and like I said, you're bringing on the Brazilian Pit Monster. You're bringing out the Mastiff mixing paper hanging breeders out in the open to do that type of breeding out in the open. Don't forget to become that giant American bully. Don't forget to, inspect that pedigree. Make sure it has certain dogs that are on a list that allows you to get in and claim giant American bully, which would be obviously the same way you would do to search for those Brazilian Pit Monsters, aka ABKC Brazilian Bulls. Okay? Keep that part in mind. I feel it's a great idea. I think it's something ABKC should definitely adopt. I just feel the ABKC, the breeders, it's time to do stuff right. Salute to everybody that wants to do right with the breed, and that's doing stuff out in the open. But don't be afraid to mandate that parentage DNA. I feel that right there is very important in every single build that is going on. Now, if that's going to be happening as far as a new breed consideration, because remember, if the Brazilian Bull in ABKC is put as a new breed, then I feel it's only right that you bring on the exotic bully direction. And I feel that what we should call it in the ABKC, first we label the grouping. We label the grouping the mini bull varieties. Okay, the ABKC miniature bully varieties, or basically it would be the ABKC mini bull varieties. And what are those varieties? Okay, because again, we're talking about a new breed, a new direction. We're talking about something that's here and it's been here since the beginning. And both these directions have been here since the beginning. The double XL and the mini bull. So the miniature bully variety should go with, as ABKC has acknowledged and considered, the miniature American Bully. Okay? So that's one. But how about also, you got the miniature American Bully, you got the, oh, we could title it. What we do is title stuff, so people don't get mixed up. So you got the ABKC Mini Bull Varieties with the ABKC Miniature American Bully. There's also the ABKC Mini Bull, which is more of like a clean exotic, right? Because basically it's a mini bull. You got Miniature American Bully, which is a miniaturized version of a Dax-looking dog, okay? And then you got the mini bull, which is kind of like Hallmark, okay? Then you got Hallmark, because you got Hallmark, and then you got Golden Child. So Hallmark would be an ABKC mini bull, miniature bully. Golden Child would be and his offspring and everything that's, attached to him would be, oh, don't forget Jay-Z Mello. That would be the miniature American Bully, okay? And then you got the extreme mini bull, okay? You got the extreme mini bull, and then you got the exotic varieties, okay? Don't forget, they would be labeled with the ABKC Miniature American Bully, the ABKC Mini Bull, ABKC Miniature Bully, basically, ABKC Extreme Mini Bull, and then you got the ABKC Exotic American Bully. That exact word, that exact terminology. Then you've got the ABKC Micro Exotic Bully. Then you got the ABKC Nano Exotic Bully. So now we have decided a mini bull variety list so that everybody can enjoy. And these are covering all the styles and the types that are out there. From the dogs that basically, when exotics are bred to that American Bully, you're going to get, obviously, some are getting that pocket and smaller, okay? And they're coming out with that American Bully headpiece. Some are coming out with that exotic headpiece. Some are coming out with an in-between, which is considered like that foundation of the exotic bully movement, the mini bull. So like I said, I strongly suggest that if ABKC is giving a new breed spot for the Brazilian Pit Monster, why not give a new breed spot for the ABKC Mini Bull and its varieties within? Okay? And I just broke it down.